Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Robert Day. I'll be your master of ceremony for this occasion. The 9th, 10th Horse Cavalry Association are having this week their national reunion. That's the 155th reunion. And we always understand that we have to honor those that came before us. We'll now have the presentation of colors.
Please stand, ladies and
Stand, please.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Oh, there. Go.
We'll now have our invocation by Albert Davis.
Let us pray. Eternal and all-wise God, it is once again that we come in your divine presence. First of all, acknowledging you, for it is you in which we live, move, and have our being. Lord, as we come, we ask that your Holy Spirit be with us on this occasion. Grant your wisdom and blessing as we deliberate on one of our heroes, William Marion Manigault. Bless his memory and his family with the Father. And bless the 9th and 10th Horse Cavalry Association. We ask, oh, the Father, that you just be with your people everywhere. For in your Son Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Okay, our next will be Trooper Andre Williams, is our national chaplain, president rather. Thank you.
That's okay, I'll be the chaplain too. How are you all doing today? Good. So to the Manigault-Hurley family, distinguished friends, guests, to the troopers of the 9th and 10th Horse Cavalry Association, and to Command Sergeant Major Cavalry. Is that close enough?
Sure, we'll go with that.
We'll go with that. Welcome to this event today. We are proud to have been, to be a part of this. And thank you all for allowing us to be a part of such a great event. We don't get an opportunity to get out and do things like this very often. So when we are invited to do it, we certainly jump on it and we say yes to those things. So we hope that you are proud of us and proud of what we're doing here today. And so thank you very much. And thank you all for coming out to share this too.
Okay, today we have several special guests that took time out of their busy schedules to provide you some commentary on their thoughts towards this event. First, we'll have Mickey Pringle, councilman from West Columbia, South Carolina. Mickey, Mr. Pringle, and I call him Mickey because we went to church together for several years. So he's a native of Seminole High School in Stanford, Florida. He traveled to South Carolina on a football scholarship. And he's very active in the community. He's been an administrator with the school district for 16 years, and of course 8 of those with Denmark Olar. He is currently the councilman from West Columbia, District 5. I present to you Councilman Mickey Pringle.
Good evening. And I'll, since it's so hot, I'll remember those words that we like to hear the pastor say on Sunday morning, and that is, I won't be before you long. But on behalf of the Mayor Tim Miles, Council and City Administrator Brian Carter, we bring you greetings from the city of West Columbia. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be here for this unveiling honoring the Buffalo Soldiers. The Buffalo Soldiers are a very important part of our history. The Buffalo Soldiers were African-American soldiers who mainly served on the western frontier following the Civil War in 1866. And 6 all-black cavalry and infantry regiments were created after Congress passed the Army Organization Act. According to archivist Walter Hill, a member of the 10th Cavalry in 1871 reported that the Comanche Indians actually bestowed that name, Buffalo Soldiers, on the unit that represented Cavalry 10 because of their toughness during battle. And that's just a little bit of history about the Buffalo Soldier. Now, our students, and Mr. Day had mentioned that I did schools. I did 39 years in schools, 16 as a principal. And my wife there, who's filming me now, she just decided to retire. This is her 42nd year. But what I do know is that our kids don't know our history. And it's incumbent upon us to, share those things with them so they will know what struggles we had to deal with and what everybody has done throughout their life. So I'll leave that with you again. Again, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this historical event.
Thank you, Councilman. Our next guest is Jeannie Harriet. Jeannie is associated with I believe it's the African American History Society. So she's coming forth to bring you a word of greeting.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Jeannie, Harriet, and I am the chairperson of the South Carolina African American Heritage Commission. The commission was created in 1993 by the South Carolina General Assembly for the identification and preservation of African American history and culture in the state of South Carolina. We do that through workshops, conferences, developing resource material for students and teachers, providing webinars and training for teachers so that they can teach their children the rich history and contributions of African Americans in the state of South Carolina. I'm happy to be here today as this is one of the events that we think is so important to help us recognize, preserve, and tell the story of the rich contributions of African Americans to the state of South Carolina and to this country. Thank you all, and I welcome you all here to South Carolina and to Columbia this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next greeting will come from the current post commander of Fort Jackson, this Command Sergeant Major Phyllis Taverner is a native of Dominica and was raised in Queens, New York. He enlisted in the United States Army in 1996 and completed one station unit training at Fort Benning, where he was trained as an infantryman. He's known for his energy and his passion. Taverner has served in every leadership position for the team leader through command sergeant majors. He has previously been assigned to various tours, many overseas and some nationally. And without further ado, and if you want to read this extended resume, just Google it. But he has an impressive resume. I am glad to have met him, and I wouldn't have met him if it wasn't for this particular event. Without further ado, Command Sergeant Major Phyllis Taverner.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. So first off, before I share a few remarks I have written down here, I want to take an opportunity to thank Deborah for singing the national anthem. She did a phenomenal job, so please join me in a round of applause. And then secondly, I am not the post commander, I am the post command sergeant major. So the post commander, that is your A team. As the post command sergeant major, I am the B team, but I am truly honored to be here. All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for this opportunity. It is my absolute pleasure to join you in the celebration of your reunion. Today is a very, very, very humbling moment for myself as I stand on the shoulders of giants. While my story and other soldiers serving may sound very similar to yours, the one commonality that I am sure of is that we all answered our nation's call to duty and never looked back with any regret. Yes, we answered that call to duty. And yes, that call to duty may differ from soldier to soldier, but we all serve for a purpose greater than ourselves. And right now, I am truly privileged to serve as the post command sergeant major for the Army Premier Training Center in our Fort Jackson community. For over a century, the United States Army Training Center in Fort Jackson has remained a direct contributor to the readiness of our Army by producing combat-ready soldiers at scale, unmatched by any other center of excellence across the Army. Here at Fort Jackson, we train over 60,000 soldiers annually, and over 60% of the women that's joining the force. And I'm extremely proud to be a member of this magnificent team. Since arriving here at Fort Jackson, I've become more and more impressed of the work done by our soldiers, our Army civilians, and our families every single day. This transformation is simply amazing. I get to watch this every day, 24/7, 365 days a year. Our drill sergeants, they are truly the center of gravity. they're the ones that allow us to do what we do every day. These exceptional non-commissioned officers, they're the true recipe to our success. So as you know, our drill sergeants here at Fort Jackson, they're charged with the responsibility of motivating every trainee daily. And as a prior drill sergeant, I feel inclined to instill that same level of motivation to ensure I have your undivided attention. So as you all know, at Fort Jackson, our motto is victory starts here, in which the initiator will sound off with victory, and the senior officer or the senior leader will respond with starts here. So now, considering that I'm the most junior amongst all these unsung heroes out here, I will be the initiator. Are you guys ready? We're going to give this a try. Victory.
Starts here.
All right, I know we could do a lot better than this. Victory. That's what I'm talking about. Now, ladies and gentlemen, can you feel that? Isn't that powerful? Yeah. So that is the reason why we are who we are at Fort Jackson. The reason we can feel that passion and conviction is because it is true. Victory starts here with us, with all of you, with our families, and our unconditionally loyal community. As soldiers, we must be relentless in training and unyielding on the battlefield. And that, ladies and gentlemen, has been proven over and over again, as we have trained well over 1.8 million soldiers in support of our nation's defense since 1917. It is also well known that during our time of war and the need to have our young sons and daughters answer the call of duty, it was Fort Jackson that led the way for our Army and our nation in both racial and gender integration, well ahead of any of the other services. Even to this day, other branches of service come to Fort Jackson to see what right looks like with regard to training diverse formations. Now let's talk community. I've been in the military for 25 years as a soldier, and I've never experienced the support that we get from outside the gate of Fort Jackson. Being positioned in the heart of the state capitol provides for a bonding and historic community partnership, with over 2/3 of the soldiers living off post and being active community members, making the city of Columbia and Fort Jackson a unified community. And this remarkable partnership with the city of Columbia, it helps ensure that Fort Jackson remains a station of choice. Now, as you all know, the support you give is truly the support you get. Fort Jackson is considered the 3rd largest city in the state of South Carolina. Every year, we push approximately $2.8 billion into the economy. Prior to COVID-19, and slowly as we try to transition out of this pandemic, we'll expect to see 250,000 visitors annually, where families are here visiting their loved ones during basic combat training graduation. And over 46,000 soldiers choose to make the Midlands their home upon retiring. That in itself is just simply amazing. Now, what will the future hold for Fort Jackson? No one can really predict with any level of certainty, but Brigadier General Michaelis and I are confident that Fort Jackson will continue to make strategic contributions to the readiness of our Army and our city of Columbia for many years to come. We get to be a part of this trade-off team that builds the greatest Army in the world. Our nation, our Army counts on Fort Jackson to be its largest platform for transforming civilians into soldiers, in which we can all agree, which is the Army's most important weapon system. Now, speaking of important weapon systems, the soldiers of the 9th and 10th Cavalry Regiment, you have led a path of pride and excellence for others to follow. Whether it was on the battlefield of the Spanish War or the famous charge up the San Juan Hill, your combat prowess, bravery, tenaciousness has blazed a path for soldiers like myself and future soldiers to follow. It is no mistake to why your motto is still ready and forward. Your feat of daring deeds resonate for us all to admire. Each one of you epitomizes exactly what I stated earlier, where victory starts here. I salute each of you and extend my deepest gratitude for your service to our nation. May God continue to bless you and your families. May God bless our service members currently serving or soon to be in harm's way. And may God bless the United States. Thank you, and victory.
fantastic. Let's give him another hand. Thank you so much. Now we have a musical selection from Deborah Barr.
It took a miracle to hang the stars in space. It took a miracle to hang the moon in place. But when he saved my soul, cleansed and he made me whole. That was a miracle of love and amazing grace. How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see through many dangers, toil and sneer. I have already come. 'Twas grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. That was a miracle. When Jesus set me free, it was a miracle. What he's done for you and for me, it was a miracle of love and God's amazing grace.
Now we wish the ushers to come forward. Pass the hat, because this is an occasion that we won't have again in another 100 years. Let's bring it forward. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. We'll now have the introduction of our speaker, Trooper Diane Butler, National Assistant Secretary.
I'm not going to go there. Tears rolling. But anyway, I just want to say good afternoon, everyone. It is indeed an honor and a privilege that I'm able to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Bobby Donaldson, a native of Augusta, Georgia. Dr. Bobby Donaldson serves as an associate professor of history and the director of the Center of Civil Rights, History and Research at the University of South Carolina, Columbia. He received his undergraduate degree in History and African American Studies from Wesleyan University in Middletown, Connecticut, and his PhD in American History from Emory University. Professor Donaldson serves as the lead scholar and director for the Columbia, South Carolina 63, a documentary project that examines the struggle for civil rights and social justice in Columbia and around the state of South Carolina. Professor Donaldson has received the University of South Carolina's distinguished Michael J. Mungo Undergraduate Teaching Award in 2010. In 2017, he was awarded the Stephen Morrison Visionary Award by the One Columbia for Arts and History organization. In 2018, he received the South Carolina Governor's Award in Historic Preservation and the South Carolina's Governor's Humanities Award. In 2019, Dr. Donaldson's teachings, research, and community engagement were recognized by the South Carolina House of Representatives. He also was awarded an honorary degree by Benedict College. Dr. Donaldson is particularly proud of the work he and his students have done to document the history of the Ward 1 community. And this work would not have been possible without the support and contributions of Ward 1 members, such as Anthony Manigault-Hurley and the Hurley family. It is my pleasure once again to present to some and introduce to others the speaker for this historical moment, Dr. Bobby McDonald.
Thank you very much, Ms. Butler, for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to welcome you to Ward 1 and welcome you to the campus of the University of South Carolina. I extend greetings on behalf of our president, Dr. Harris Bastides, and also greetings and regret on behalf of our mayor, Steve Benjamin. I want to commend the 9th and 10th Horse Cavalry Association for envisioning this event. Now, I came today with two speeches, one long, one short, and I pulled out the short speech. And I have to be in Spartanburg at 6, so it is the short speech. The year was 1935. The site was Chicago, Illinois. The speaker's booming voice echoed through the auditorium. The speaker said, "The search for truth is not for timid souls. The great thing we should learn is to be unafraid of knowledge." The speaker was a South Carolinian, Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune. 2 years later, in 1937, she spoke before Dr. Carter G. Woodson's Association for the Study of Negro Life and History. She said the following words that are fitting for today: "If our people are to fight their way out of bondage, we must arm them with a sword and a shield, belief in themselves and their possibilities. We must teach them their history from the cradle to the grave, and we should do so at whatever cost, even if it breaks the back of the kingdom." During that same era, in the summer of 1936, a school teacher here in Columbia named Lillian Buchanan came to this community, came to Ward 1, and she stopped at 714 Main Street. As she looked in that direction, and she looked in that direction, she saw grocery stores, homes, churches, shoe repair shops, a laundry, a furniture store, across the street, a dentist, next to him, the office of Dr. Henry Monteith. She walked into a historic African-American community, and she wanted to talk to someone who might give her some insight about that history. So she knocks at 714 Main. She is introduced to the owner, William Marion Manigault. That year, she writes a short biography of Mr. Manigault that is housed in our Special Collections archives. It was part of an initiative called the Negro Writers Project, directed by a woman here in Columbia named Elise Ford Jenkins. She wrote the following about the subject of today's unveiling. She said, "It is a good thing to see men aspire to places and businesses which offer not only large rewards, but also great opportunities for service. Such is the case of William M. Manigault, who has worked out a measure of success in business of which any man might be proud." Now, that very long biographical sketch that she wrote about Mr. Manigault forgot or missed an essential point of his life's journey. It did not mention the service in the United States Army as a private in Troop K of the 10th Cavalry, known as the Buffalo Soldiers. But fortunately, the Hurley family, the Manigault family, have preserved many of those records. A 1905 yellow document called the Military Record that describes his service in the military. And it says of his service, quote, "He was honest and faithful." Today we come to this space to honor an honest and faithful soldier, servant, entrepreneur, and civic leader. One of the strongest champions of William Manigault called me upon my arrival to the University of South Carolina, and he insisted that I come visit him. So I went out to Two Notch Road to meet Anthony Hurley, and he told me stories and many more stories about his family and about Ward 1 and this community. When the funeral home closed, his daughter, Judge Michelle Hurley Johnson, called me over again to the facilities, and they have preserved an extraordinary record of material. And one of the items that was preserved was an old yellow and green, I believe it is, funeral fan. And on the cover was William Manigault, his daughter Annie Mae, and a young Tony Hurley. So I assume the fan came from the 1940s. But the words on the fan seem appropriate for today. It said, "Thankful for the past, grateful for the present, hopeful for the future." Today, 714 Main is gone. Today, the famed Manigault-Hurley Funeral Home no longer operates. But today we can say that the history and the lessons endure. And that is why we are here today. And that is why we salute all those who've made it possible. Today we extend our gratitude to our ancestors. We follow the example of Mary McLeod Bethune, and we carry on in the call of duty of the Biblical Commission that says, write the vision and make it plain. Write it where? On tablets. And why do you write it? So that those who read it may be educated, may be edified, and may be inspired to run on to see what their ends shall be. Let us run on, resting on this history. Thank you very much.
Okay. Let's give him another round of applause. Now we'll get to the marker unveiling portion of this program. Judge Hurley, Dr. Donaldson, and Trooper Andre Hill. And family, you would come closer, please.
give her another round of applause. Okay, now we'll hold the folding of the flag. Mark time, march. Color guard, halt. Center, face. Ready, roll.
Marion, Manigault, I'd like to express our sincere and forever gratitude to the Buffalo Soldiers 9th and 10th Cavalry Association, and especially to Mr. Robert Day, who spearheaded this whole endeavor and made sure that today happened. The fact that William Manigault was a Buffalo Soldier has always been a source of great pride for my family. In fact, his papers, is what we would now know as his DD 214, hung prominently in our funeral home for many years. And when our funeral home closed, I made sure that I grabbed it. And when Mr. Day contacted me about 2 years ago, he said, he told me who he was and where he was from, and that the association was going to have a reunion, and they wanted to honor William Manigault. And said that we've identified him as a Buffalo Soldier, but we need some more information about him. We need some more proof that he was a Buffalo Soldier. I said, well, I have it right here. It's right behind me in my office. So I immediately took a picture of his paper, sent it to him, and that started the process. But I know for a fact that my great-grandfather was very proud to be a Buffalo Soldier, because back in the early 1900s, there was a newspaper called the Southern Indicator, and he would often write or send in editorials to the newspaper, and he always signed them, W.M. Manigault, Troop K, 10th Cavalry. And I have those, and so I know he himself was very proud to have been a Buffalo Soldier. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts. This is the most incredible honor that could have been bestowed on our hero. There's a saying that I always see that says, I am my ancestors' wildest dreams. But William Manigault was his parents' wildest dreams, because they were former slaves. And for him to have come to Columbia and laid the groundwork and become a successful businessman and bring his family from the Congaree swamp to Columbia and become successful, he was his family's wildest dreams. But he laid the groundwork for 6 generations. His service in the military and what the experience he gained and skills he gained in the military, and he came back to Columbia and opened businesses that not only supported the community, but supported 6 generations of Manigaults. We are forever grateful to him. We are forever grateful to each one of you, and we are forever grateful that the Buffalo Soldiers thought enough of him to honor him in this wonderful manner. We thank you very much.